What's going on, y'all? Today's video, we're going to be talking about what it's like dropping out of college with pretty much no backup plan. Firstly, I'll talk about why I dropped out of college. And most people say it's a dumb decision, don't drop out of college. Everybody's on this sort of bandwagon with, okay, go to school, go to college, get a job, work the rest of your life for someone else. And I was not about to do that. First and foremost, that's the reason why I didn't want to stay in college. Secondly, as soon as I got there, I just got the vibe that I just didn't belong there. Like the people that I saw there, they just didn't, the vibe wasn't right, man. And I stayed there, I just tried to push through it. Okay, maybe I'm just, new environment, whatever. Months later, still just feel that sense of just get out of here. You don't belong here. Nobody told me that, but I'm just in my head. I'm thinking, yeah, I just don't belong. I just didn't match my vibe. Just something was off about it. I felt that way for months. Kept on trying to push through it, trying to ignore that feeling, and it just stayed there. Something was telling me college just isn't it. And so I think the final nail in the coffin was when one of the professors just gave me a surprise. It was a pop quiz, but it was like a surprise test that's being graded. They told nobody about it, and that's when I just got up and walked out. I said, no, I'm not about to pay money to get a surprise test and fail because I didn't study for that crap. I'm not about to do that, right? And so let's get into the real story time, what it's like afterwards, college, right? So, after dropping out at least, first and foremost, as soon as people get word of that, people get word that you dropped out, people are going to think that you failed. People think, oh, he's, okay, if he's not in college, he must be, selling this or doing that, or he must not be doing the right thing. That's what everybody's going to come together and think. And for me at least, I didn't do anything bad when I dropped out of college. I immediately picked up a job, started working as much as I could, full-time, overtime even, and just trying to make ends meet. And that brings me into my second point. Once you drop out, it's really all on you. There's no teacher to tell you, hey, do this. There's nobody to tell you, hey, do this by this time. You have to do all that on your own by yourself. You have to set due dates for things, set goals, and you have to hold yourself accountable. Only you can say, okay, this is taking too long, it's overdue, assignment's overdue, even though it's, no teachers around, or none of that. And you have to decide for yourself these things. And of course, there's another aspect, dropping out of college, for depending on whatever situation you may be. Some people get scholarships, some people get grants, whatnot. But for me, at least, I had to pay the money back. So now I'm in student loan debt, basically. So I dropped out, and now I'm off rip, already in the negatives as soon as I dropped out. So that's why I picked up a job, trying to pay that off as soon as possible. It took me about a year to pay off. It wasn't too much because I didn't spend too much time in college. That's honestly, in my opinion, that's a better decision to make than staying in there 4 or 5 years, then dropping out last minute. That's, so I think I played my cards better than other people, but I could have played it even better, by just not going there at all if I felt it wasn't for me. But I figured I'd give it a shot, see what the hype's about. The hype was not there. It wasn't at all what I was expecting. People say it's all this and that, but I didn't get that vibe at all. So another thing about dropping out is there's very few people on the same path as you. What I mentioned earlier was, people expect you to be, doing this and that illegal stuff and doing underhanded stuff here and there. personally, I was not doing that, but I could see other people who dropped out and were doing those, and I couldn't relate to them. So now I can't relate to the college people, and I can't relate to the college dropout. And so I'm really just in this very small group of people. Really just feels like I'm on my own out here, you know. Very few people out there who I feel like I can relate to this, you know. So dropping out, you have to kind of take matters into your own hands. If you want to meet people, like-minded people, do stuff that you like to do, and then just be outgoing when you're at those places. Let's say the gym, or you're at the mall, or wherever. You gotta take initiative, especially as a man, to just do things on your own, you know. And I had to realize that really fast, especially dropping out. And since there's not many people on the same path as you, you won't have much guidance. You know what I mean? There's not many people to say, hey, you should probably do this, probably do that. Because people already think in their heads you're already messed up. It's like, okay, it's a lost cause. And there's people who just can't relate to you. They don't know what it's like to drop out of college because they didn't drop out. They can't really give you advice. So you kind of have to make your own path. You can't walk someone else's path. You have to make your own and just kind of make it up as you do it. You know what I mean? And only you can walk that path. You can have to make the path and walk the path, and only you can do it. And especially since you're an adult by now, you're in college, you're an adult, you have to do these things. You know, you gotta make your own decisions and either benefit from it or suffer the repercussions. You know, and if you don't do it, nobody will. Nobody can make decisions for you. They can give you advice, tell you what's maybe good or bad, but they can't do something for you. They can't force you to do it. You have to do it at the end of the day, you know. But the big takeaway, I would say, is do what you feel is right. Do what you feel is right and make it work. If you really feel in your gut, okay, I gotta do this, or I should not to be doing that, I'd say do it and follow your gut, follow what you think is really right for you, and make it work. You know, dropping out of college, I had to make it work. Everybody and their mom was telling me, nope, don't drop out. I dropped out and I figured it out. You know, right now, as of making this video, I got a stable job, chilling, make a decent amount of money, got this YouTube stuff. I finally evened it out, you know what I mean? Paid off the student loans, took me a while, you know. Now nothing's perfect, but I think I bounced back from, you know, that decision. Like I said, you're an adult, you make decisions, you have to live with it, for better or for worse. And I think that's a good thing. In that time frame that it took from you dropping out to me being here right now, I learned a whole lot, you know, good and bad. I've been through a whole lot of good and bad. Met a whole lot of people, you know, did a whole lot of things. And I just experienced life. I'm just making decisions and living with it. And I like the freedom that comes with being, you know, out of college. I don't have to work on someone else's schedule, really. And I like that. So if you're thinking about dropping out of college, I'm going to be like everybody else. I'm going to tell you to not drop out of college. But if you already dropped out, I would say that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And if you really feel in your gut that this is the right decision for you, then I would say, you know, do what you think is right for you. Don't try to live up to other people's standards, and live your life, you know. Only you can live your life. Nobody can live it for you. And yeah, that's it. Hope you have a blessed day.